Okay, 8 o'clock. So we're going to get started anyway, and I'll just run through what's happening before Joe actually arrives with us. I have a confirmation from Joe that he will be with us. So, but I, we mentioned last night on the live that Bailey, Katie, Nick, myself, and Simon and Daisy did that we've got something coming for you on Tuesday. And I'm going to put a bit more information out later on tonight's call. Simon just sending me a message saying he's a couple of minutes.
Leave it here, I'll look after it.
But we've got some information. We've got something that we're bringing out on Tuesday that's going to give everybody the opportunity to boost their business and move their business forward. We've seen in recent weeks a real big upturn in our business. It started before Christmas, started before we actually had, before we got the opportunity to have trades coming back. The trading side was quiet, but we still saw more people coming in. The feeling right now, the optimism that I'm feeling from everybody right now is incredible. And it's coming from some real fundamentals that we're putting into place and taking everything right back to basics. So Simon and I have managed to negotiate something with someone that's going to take things to the next level for each and every one of you. I'm going to be really exciting to show that. Joe Gomez is having problems getting in. 2 seconds whilst I try to help with this. So, excuse me. So we're going to do something that's just going to take things to the next level. The activity level that we're seeing right now is amazing, but it still needs to go that step further. And we need to get to the point now where we've got everybody bringing people in every week. We've got some guys that are just really turning the heat up right now. And we need that to be the norm, not the exception. And the stuff that we're going to get on these calls with the help from Joe and from all the other people that we have helping and supporting the team will take us to that next level. 2021 is going to be an incredible year for us. 2021 is already starting off right. The volume is going up. The numbers are going up. It's time to really step on the gas and capitalize on it right now. And to that end, we're going to have someone from the USA who's built a number of teams with a number of companies. He's been involved in network marketing now for well over the last 10 years, been very successful with every company he was with. He was our upline in my previous company, and he was one of the reasons that we actually came to IM Academy and built this business with him again here in IM Academy. His name is Joe Gomez. He's Chairman 10 from California. Joe, over to you, my friend.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, for those of you that are on this call, this is a training that I haven't done in over 6 years. You're in for a treat. It's a training that is going to talk about momentum and the 3 phases of momentum. And I believe what better time than now, when if you look in your back office, numbers are going up, not just in the UK, not just on my team or in my downline, but as a company as a whole. When this global pandemic first hit, we doubled our company. It got worse. We tripled our company. We've quadrupled our company since then. Okay. And that all has to do with momentum. Okay. Momentum is going to build your business, but a lot of people don't know the 3 phases of momentum and what it takes to actually go out and create momentum. So we're going to break it down into 3 phases. We're going to dive into it. And this training has helped some of my my teammates achieve some crazy numbers, because people think that they're conducting business, but they're just being busy with non-productive activities. I call it non-MMA activities, meaning they are not money-making activities. See, don't get it twisted, my friends. All of you have got to be willing to get into the MMA, meaning making money activities. Those are the activities that are going to pay us the residuals that we're looking to get into. There's not a person on this call. I don't know everybody personally, right? But there's not a person on this call that didn't get involved with this opportunity because they didn't want to make more money. Everybody who got on this call is trying to find an extra source of income, an extra stream of income, doing something different and creating some income coming into their house. So let's talk about momentum. The 3 phases. Number one, the number one phase in momentum is creating momentum. That's the number one phase for momentum, is creating it. Well, a lot of people ask, well, how do I do that? I'm talking to people. I want the money. I want this. I want that. See, here's the problem. Too many people are playing the money game. Too many people are playing the dollar game. Start playing the contact game, my friends. Start playing the contact game. This is a contact sport. Anything in life that you're trying to sell, share with somebody is a contact sport. Think about this. When you were a kid and you wanted something from your parents and they told you no the first time, did you stop? Right? That was the first contact, right? That was your first time to try to sell something. If you wanted that candy, did you stop? No, you kept going until you got it. Listen, contacts equal contracts. Contacts equal contracts. Contracts equal revenue. Contracts equal revenue. Your contract is getting somebody in this business. The more contacts you go to is going to create the contracts, what then is going to create the revenue, which is going to pay you your residual income. See, listen, I believe that there's too many people that don't understand the power of residual income. There's too many people that don't understand what residual is. See, I know tomorrow I'm going to have somewhere in between $5,000 and $7,000 coming to me from I Am Academy, from the residual side. It happens every Friday, my friends. That's the true meaning of residual income. Whether I do this call with you guys, whether I go to our Super Saturday on Saturday, whether I talk to another person about this, that money's going to come in. When I was sick with COVID and I was out for 3 weeks, I got paid all 3 weeks. I'm able to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. Now, I'm not saying this to be braggadocious, but that's the power of residual income. So you got to get in the contact game, ladies and gentlemen. When you go through enough contacts, eventually you're going to get lucky. And you know me, I don't believe in luck. Luck to me is nothing more than when preparation meets effort. When hard work, preparation meets effort, that's when the magic happens. How does that happen? Grant Cardone talked about it the other day on Undercover Billionaire. The more contacts I get to, I eventually get lucky. Why is that? Because the hard work and preparation all the time. Grant Cardone himself said this just the other day on Undercover Billionaire. You think that you are the only one that doesn't like to ask for the sale? Do you think you're the only person that gets uncomfortable when they have to ask for the sale? Because listen, everybody on here feels that way. I've done it. I've done over, if you look for my car sales, from my house sales, to my network marketing businesses, I've done over $1 billion in sales. And every time I go and ask for the business, I get nervous. Grant Cardone was asking somebody for a place to live the other day because he's on the Undercover Billionaire. He wanted to sleep in one of these RVs. The guy let him. He asked for the deal. After he got done with that, he was like, I was so scared doing that. He says, I have asked for hundreds of millions of dollars at one time. And every time I ask for anything, I get scared. But guess what? He does not let the fear of asking the question stop him from asking that question. That's the difference. That's the difference. If you watch Undercover Billionaire, you could go on YouTube and you could Google it, Grant Cardone, Undercover Billionaire. Watch it. He's uncomfortable. He's not feeling comfortable when he's asking these questions. You could see it. He's squirming. I thought that was powerful because there's so many people that let the fear of talking to somebody, let the fear of asking stop them from ever doing it. There's so many people that the first no they get, stop them. Listen, if you're married, did you marry your first sweetheart? Did you marry the first guy or girl that you kissed? The answer most likely is no. And if it's a no, why didn't you stop? See, there's so many people that stop at their first no. There's so many people that give up at their first no. There's so many people that aren't willing to go They just quit. Listen, this is a numbers game. Everything in life is a numbers game. The more contacts you get will turn to contracts, which will lead to your revenue. Creating momentum is the hardest thing in network marketing, and scratch network marketing. Creating momentum is the hardest thing in business. Creating momentum is the hardest thing being an entrepreneur. Creating momentum. Roger, you were in the car game. When you go to a new dealership, you're at 0. Creating the momentum is hard. It's so hard. Trust me, it's hard to create it. Most people in this industry will quit before they ever see momentum because they're going to say something like this: it's too hard. I don't have the time. I don't understand. But yet they were the same people that were saying they had all these crazy dreams. They wanted to hit Chairman 10. They wanted to hit P5000, but it's too hard to go an extra hour. It's too hard to jump on these calls. It's too hard. It's too time consuming to learn how to trade HFX. It's too hard to learn how to trade crypto. Well, that too hard for you is easy for somebody else because they're willing to sacrifice and they're willing to let the little things that are affecting them move them to learn something else. There's a price to be paid to create momentum. There is a price. You're going to have to sacrifice some things. You're going to have to give up some things. And guess what? The price is paid up front and in full. What do I mean by that? You're not going to create momentum without giving up something, ladies and gentlemen. When I got in this industry, I thought because I had success in selling cars, I thought I could knock this out the park. And I wasn't willing to give up anything in order to have success. And when I got my first millionaire mentor, he said, you're going to have to sacrifice some things. Maybe it's the 75-inch TV that you go home to every day after work. Maybe it's going to be sacrificing some family time. That hurt me because I love spending time with the family. He said, but you're going to have to sacrifice something that is meaningful to you in order for you to get your wildest dreams. He said, if you don't do that, you're just talk. So guess what? When I got serious and I got my first millionaire mentor, I sacrificed family time for almost a year. Why? Because I was working at the dealership 60 to 80 hours a week. Yes, 60 to 80 hours a week, crazy hours. And then after I would get off work, I didn't come home to my 75-inch TV. I had people meet me at the dealership and we would park on the street and we'd carpool to an hour away to go to a live meeting. Now we can't do live meetings right now. So what does that mean? Maybe after work, I sacrifice time. Maybe I'm not eating dinner when I'm really hungry because I'm jumping on trainings. This is the 4th training I've done today. No breakfast, only 1 cup of coffee. I'm starving. I'm a big boy. I'm starving. 4th training I'm doing today. You have to sacrifice some things, ladies and gentlemen, that mean the most to you in order for you to obtain your wildest dreams. If you're not willing to sacrifice, this isn't for you. If you're not willing to give up to go up, this isn't for you. Just being 100% honest. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take a lot of grit. It's going to take a lot of hustle. Does that make sense to somebody? It's going to take a price. If you've been in the company for 6 months and you haven't recruited one person, I'm going to tell you straight up, you probably contacted a total of 10 people in 6 months. There's a problem with that. If you've been in the company for 6 months, you should be doing the trading. You should be having success. In my first 3 months, I made over $24,000 trading. I'm no different than you. I cannot jump on it. If we go on right now onto my broker's site, and I were to log on, I cannot call a trade without using Cash Trap. I wouldn't know how to do it. But I've taken the time to learn how to do it. I sacrifice time, which may be staying up till 2 a.m. to learn something that's paid off. That's the difference. Listen, you and I can have an IQ test, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, you're going to be smarter than me. I promise you. I'm not arguing that at all. But when we're talking about going out and creating an income and changing the financial destination for my families and for my children's children, I will out hustle anybody, anytime, anywhere, no questions asked. Because that's my why. That's what burns me. Okay, so it's going to require that. Phase two. Phase two is advancing your momentum that you have already created. See, because when you get started, that's when most people are like the most excited. That's when you should be the most nervous. It's only you. It's you and you and you and you and you and you and you only. Nobody else is in your business. When you start creating momentum, you probably shared it with several people. You now got a little bit of a team. Shoot, by now you might have already created some income. Maybe you're a P600, so you're making $600. You're thinking you're Mr. Big Shot. You're rolling. There is no time to take it off in phase two. There is no time to take off in phase two. In phase two times stands for times two. Everything you did in phase one times two. You got to do 2 times as many phone calls. You got to get to 2 times as many contacts. You got to get to 2 times as many trainings, right? Because now you have a team. Now it's not just about you, my friend. Now it's about your team too. And it's getting them to understand the vision. It's getting them to believe in them when they don't even believe in themselves. Right? And again, I get it. Some will, some won't. So what? This is for the real entrepreneurs that want to get to the next level. You're going to have to do 2 times the work. You're going to have to go 2 times more intense. You're going to have to do things now, which may require you to come out of pocket. What do I mean by that? Maybe there's a live training. Maybe there's a live Super Saturday. It may cost you to get in your car to go pick up your team to drive to that event. We're having a Super Saturday here this week. There's another one in March in Utah. Matthew Thayer is going to be at it, and Chris Terry. There's another one in April. In April, there's another Super Saturday. This weekend, I'm paying for Brandon Boyd's hotel. The guy makes way more money than me. He's my upline, but I'm paying for his hotel. There's a sacrifice. You got to go more. You got to do more. I'm showing my team out there that this is what it costs. I just bought Matthew Thayer a ticket to come out here in April because we're doing an event out here in April. There might be some sacrifices that you have to pay. There might be some things that you have to do. We've done some, Simon could tell you how much money Brandon and myself have put out for a team out internationally. I'm talking about massive amounts of money that we have put out for a team internationally. Okay, there's things at this level that you're going to have to do more of. Just because you have momentum. See, here's the crazy thing about momentum. It's the hardest thing to gain and the fastest thing to lose. It's the hardest thing to gain and the fastest thing that you can lose. It takes you taking off. Imagine this. You go from 1 to 2 people, from 2 to 4, from 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, right? 32 to 64. You have 64 people in your organization. That's 64 people that are doing money-making activities today, hopefully, if they're trained right, and they all decide to take tomorrow off. That ball that slowly started rolling just came to a halt. And now you got to re-gauge it all over again. You got to start all over. Now, I'm not saying don't take time to enjoy the success that you've had. I'm not saying that, but don't dwell in that because that's not our final destination. We're not trying to just hit P5000. We're not trying to just hit Chairman 10. We're not trying to hit Chairman 25. I don't know about you, but when I seen on Instagram the Chairman 100 retreat where they all went out and they all had the steaks and they were all eating and they're learning about the new technology and they're testing out the go lives without a delay in them, because that's coming out this week. There's no delays in the go lives anymore, but they've been back testing it with those guys. I would have loved to have been in that room. I don't know about you, but I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that room to hear what they're talking about the future for this company. Phase 2, advancing the momentum. It's one of the most critical parts in the phase because you have it going already. It takes a little distraction. Maybe somebody noticed you from another team. Maybe somebody noticed you from another company. They call you, they flash the golden nugget in front of your face. Hey, well, this company's doing this company's doing that. You should check this out. Next thing you know, you're taking your eye off of your own business and you're looking somewhere else and momentum stops. Listen, nobody's going to go after a dud. Everybody wants a stud. That's the facts. Nobody wants a dud. They all want studs. But at the end of the day, you could create your own story. You could do your own thing. You could create the momentum right here, right now. Sorry, let me do. I stopped it. Sorry, somebody was calling me. But you could create all that right now. You don't need to look left. You don't need to look right. I used to always tell people, build with blinders. You got to be able to build with blinders in order to stay the course, in order to stay on track, in order to know where you're going. Okay. I haven't arrived at my final destination. I don't think I was born and meant to do all that I've done and go through all of what I went through to stop at Chairman 10 or Chairman 25 or Chairman 50. I don't think that. I don't believe you were either, but you got to believe that. And you got to put in the work ethic to get there. Advancing your momentum. Getting people to do what you do. Being able to get people to duplicate what you're doing. But that starts with you. If everybody in your business, if everybody did what Rob did or Connor did or Ed, right? If everybody did what they did, if everybody did what Tracy did, if everybody did what you did yesterday, would your business be successful today? You don't have to answer that on here. I'm just throwing that out there, right? If you look back at what you did yesterday, if your whole team did what you did yesterday, would it be a successful day today? If your whole team promoted the call before this, which was a money-making activity, right? The call before this, if I'm not mistaken, yes or no, Roger, was a business opportunity.
Yes, it was.
It was a business opportunity. So if you're on this call right now and you have a team, if your people promoted that call, if your people got as, and I'm not putting, listen, I'm not putting anybody on blast, so please don't be sensitive on these calls. But if your team had as many guests as you did on that call, would your business be successful today? If your team duplicated how many of what you're doing on this training, tomorrow, I guarantee your business would be successful. If you had people on that call, I guarantee your tomorrow would be successful. That's just the way of ladies and gentlemen, that's the way this business works. This business is not a respecter of your race, your sex, your ethnicity, anything. It doesn't care what you came from, where you came from, or who you came from. It doesn't matter your background, if you're a criminal, if you got in trouble when you were younger. This industry doesn't care. What it does respect is your grit, your hustle, your integrity. You can't tell people to do something that you're not doing. You can't ask people, first of all, we can't tell anybody to do anything. I could never call up Simon and say, Simon, you have to do A, B, and C. That's just BS. I'm not Simon's boss, right? Nor would I ever do that. Brandon would never call me that. But I hope by the action steps that I do, that it would rub off and for Simon wanted to do it. Obviously, I know what Simon's doing, ladies and gentlemen. If everybody on Simon's team did what he did, our team would double. This guy is signing up somebody every week, almost every 3 days. So if the team was doing that, no excuses. If the team was doing that, we would double, triple these calls. We would double, triple the opportunity calls. We would double, triple the income. More people would be making more money because that's just the way it works. But we got to get back to the roots, and that's the contact game. We got to get back to that. We cannot be afraid. Listen, I guarantee Simon's probably the only guy, and I don't mean this like guy or he's probably the only person I have ever met that I could honestly ask Simon, do you ever get nervous asking somebody for the sale? He would probably say no, because he doesn't. Simon is like the true epitome of tell me yes, tell me no, tell me quick, I got to go, I'm on to the next one. That is Simon 120%. So he's probably the only person in the world that I know that would probably answer that as a no. But 99.9% of the population gets nervous, a little bubble in their stomach every time they go and ask for the sale. And you know what's funny is I was thinking about a guy that was part of our business. He's part of Simon's team. He's no longer with us. He actually got terminated from our company. And this poor gentleman is on his like 5th or 6th company. Very militant, had a military background, but just very prideful. And everything has to be his way. And everything has to be a certain way. And at some point, somebody or something has got to just give him a good one in the head and say, listen, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? I'm not here to be right all the time. I'm not here to argue with everybody. I'm going to do what duplicates, not what works. I don't think I know everything. I've learned from people who made a hell of a lot more money than I have. And they're living the way I choose to live. Let's get on to phase 3. I'm jumping off course, but man, I had to say that because I think some people get so stubborn. And why Simon's been in this industry for damn near a lifetime, knows how to build this thing successfully. And every company he's been in is signing up more people than I've ever been in. Is he a rough around the edges? Hell yeah. Is he going to rub people wrong? Hell yeah. Is he going to say some things that maybe you don't agree with? Hell yes. But the most successful people I've ever met in life have a little bit of quirkiness. I don't like everything about them. I would never feel as comfortable as Simon does checking some people. But I promise you this, if I was on Simon's team, I would be taking, when he checks us from the neck up, I would be loving it because I know I'm not doing something right. And the only reason why I'm feeling uncomfortable when Simon's talking like that is because I'm the one that probably he's talking to because I'm being lazy and not doing what I need to do. That's the facts. That's the facts. You got to be willing to do it. Don't lip service. Get out there and get it done. Number 3, maintaining momentum. Maintaining momentum is the most dangerous phase of momentum because this is when people think that they are now bosses. This is when people think that they now have the authority to tell people what to do. Listen, maintaining momentum does not mean you are a boss. I hate when I see entrepreneurs let me rewind this. I hate when I see network marketers say self-made. They got these shirts that say hashtag self-made. No, fool, you're not self-made. You're not self-made. You're team-made. You're team-driven. You may have self characteristics that help drive you more than other people, but you are only successful because of your team. Do not forget that. Do not forget that, because if you're signing up one person a day, but you're losing 3 a day, you're not going to have success in network marketing. You got to be able to create that culture, right? You got to be able to create that culture, which we're doing. I feel I'm able to talk to you guys and share with you guys freely. I used to call these trainings Eagle School. And I would tell people, if you're sensitive, don't come on. Eagles aren't sensitive. I would tell people, if you're a pigeon, don't come on this call. If you're a duck, don't come on this call, because listen, I'm an eagle. I want to soar with eagles. I don't want to kick it in the ponds with ducks. I don't want to chill on the streets with pigeons. Okay? I want to rise up. This is an Eagles call. Don't stop doing what you did to gain momentum. Do not stop. You got to keep going. Somebody said go until when? Until, I don't know. Until you're retired, I guess. But even then, how could you ever retire from network marketing? I don't think you could. I absolutely love network marketing. I know I got a great friend, probably made well over, I'm going to call it over 100 million in network marketing. Young, successful. Oh, yeah. This call right here, I want you guys to see this. This call right here says DJ Peters. I'm declining it. That right there is the #1 prospect in the Dodgers organization. He just won the World Series with the Dodgers. I'm putting him on silent so I could talk to you guys. That dude is on TV. He was holding the World Series trophy. He was at the game. That's a World Series guy. Those are my friends. That's my circle. Okay. You got to be able to get to where was I at before he called? That took me off. I was talking about don't stop the momentum. Don't stop. You cannot stop. I know this guy that was made, a great friend of mine, made close to 100 million in network marketing, and he decided that he was done. He was going to get into real estate. So he bought a ton of real estate, bought a ton of real estate. Guess what? The market went south. He lost his rear end. He still has some money, but not what he once had. Tried to get back into network marketing, thought he was going to be able to turn the momentum on like that. It's been a rough go for him. He asked me the other day, man, what are you doing? How do you create this momentum? How do you stay active? I said, man, you got comfortable. You got comfortable. The great thing is about network marketing is I probably will never, ever leave network marketing. I will never leave it. I love this business, but I will continue to do investments outside of it, maybe into real estate, maybe into other businesses. Yeah. But network marketing, this is my bread and butter. You guys are my family. My team in the India, family. My team in the high desert, family. How could I walk away from that? How could I walk away from the momentum when we decided that it was just going to be the 5 of us when nobody else was here, Simon? When you were my first international rep that I went out and talked to, right? How could we walk away from what we started here? I couldn't. You never want to stop momentum. You never want to take your foot off the gas. You used to see me hashtag Zone 1, AOMA, all out massive action all the time. It's not sometime massive action. It's all out massive action all the time. Staying in Zone 1. I hated what a former guy used to say. It's day one. It's day one. But he used to always say that because our service sucked butt so bad. So the thing about that is he would always have to say day one to keep people in the business. I'm talking about the residual side. If you treat every day as it's day one, if you treat every day like you're in Zone 1, where you're playing the contact game to get the contracts, to drive the revenue, as if it was just you and you only, right? Eventually, the people that are getting involved with you are going to see what you're doing, and they're going to want to do what you're doing. They're going to want to duplicate what is duplicatable. Does that make sense to everybody? I appreciate each and every one of your time. I don't try to stay long on these calls. It's been about 32 minutes that I've been on this call. I believe that's enough time for tonight. But again, I appreciate you guys taking the time to jump off one Zoom to another Zoom. But I'm going to challenge you guys this. We have 22 participants on this call. If everybody goes out and brings one person next week, we'll be at 44. If everybody goes out and commits to bringing one person to the training next week, we will be at 44 people. I want you guys to understand the power of that. 44 people. Think about that. If you have nobody on this call today, imagine if you had one next week. That's 2 people that is driving an income to you that is getting trained on this call. Maybe you have 3 people next week on this call. That means there's 3 different people that are contributing to your income that are going to be on this call. Think about that. Think about that. It's so powerful. I get excited when I think of stuff like that. I get excited because that's the truth. So with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you. I truly, truly do. I thank you, Roger, Simon, for you guys always being faithful, getting me on these calls, being faithful, hosting these calls. I don't think she's on the call today, but Daisy, I seen she put up the other day, she hosted her first call. She was so excited. That to me is cool when people are doing stuff like that. So with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'll see you guys at the top or from a beach around the world. Go out. Today is day one, right? In creating momentum. So The 3 phases of momentum. You got to create the momentum, right? You got to create the momentum. You got to advance the momentum. You got to maintain the momentum. But none of us are on phase 2. All of us are on phase 1. We all got to go out and create the momentum. You, me, everybody on this call, creating momentum starts today. I'll see you guys with the guest on the call next week. Talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Joe. Interesting, guys. Really interesting that just before Joe came on and I was talking about exactly that. I was talking about the momentum that we've established and the fact that we're now talking to more people. The excitement level is going through the roof. We're sponsoring people every single day. As a team, we're sponsoring people every single day. Some of you are sponsoring people nearly every single day as an individual, and that's the ultimate goal, as an individual, not as a team. Because if you're sponsoring people as an individual, then as a team, we're just going through the roof. And we have the systems now. Something that Joe said, don't do what you can do what can duplicate. We have a system that is completely and utterly duplicatable. All we need to do is go out, stick flyers out every single day. When people phone up, just say, come on the call. We've got calls 5 times a week. Equally interesting, I don't know where Joe saw that Daisy was doing her first call, because Daisy's done a lot more than 1 call. But these days, for such a long time, it was me doing all the calls. And now I do a tiny percentage of the calls because Bailey's doing them, Katie's doing them, Nick's just done one, Daisy's doing them. That's growth. That's when the team starts growing, and it's exciting. We were looking at the numbers on the opportunity call tonight, and we had, at one point, we had 51 people on tonight's call. 45 people on yesterday's call, 47 people the day before that. For months, we were plodding along, doing 1 call a week with low 20s on the call. Now we're getting hundreds of people. We're getting 10 times the number of people on the call with prospects every single day. We now need to get those people active and get those people working with you. Because here's the interesting thing. 51 people on the call before, an awful lot of them should be on this call, but they're not. And they're missing out. And they're in your teams. And I know some of you guys, I want you to look at the screen. I want you to look at all the names that you can see on here. How many people can you see in your team? And how many people in your team can you not see? Because those people that you can't see, they're not growing. So here's what we're going to do, and this is coming on Tuesday of next week. Simon and I have arranged a call, and you guys know how much we've been talking about working with Larry Taylor and Larry Thompson and Taylor over the last couple of months. Simon and I have both been fans of Larry now for 30 years. We've followed his principles. It's got us places. We've got results out of it by following what it is. Simon says that Larry Thompson is the person that he modeled his personality on. Not quite sure I ever remember Larry being quite that blunt, but never mind. But Simon says what he loved about Larry is that Larry was tough. You know, you hear those tapes? Larry talking about Larry.
Works for me.
Oh, it does. He really does. You hear Larry saying about Larry 2 talking to Larry 1. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're not following some of this stuff and you're missing out in a big way. But Larry 2 is tough with Larry 1. And Simon understood that, and Simon has that. Simon takes the tough to everybody, but that's okay. That works as well. And I laugh and joke about that. And I want you to understand something else as well. I've known Simon Brooks for 30 years. And yeah, he's tough. There's no 2 ways about it. He can be blunt with people to the point, he was telling me, he has conversations with people at times and his wife will be sat behind him shaking his head going like, I can't believe you just said that now, but he does it because he cares. Simon really cares whether you succeed or not. And there are times when you need to use tough love. And Simon's really, really good at tough love. But it does come because he genuinely cares. And he's had some blunt conversations with me over the years when he turned around and he told me that I was definitely committed, but I wasn't consistent. And I remember the comment, and it stings a little bit when you have to hear it, but it was true, and I needed to be told. So now I'm consistent. Always been committed, not always been consistent. Find out where it is that you're falling down a little bit, and it will really, really help. But they all come from fundamentals that Larry Thompson teaches. Now, for weeks, we've been giving you the chance to sort of look behind the scenes and just see what we saw. You've, excuse me, you've all got, or should have, free access to the book club. If you don't know what the book club is, then you need to speak to your sponsor. And if your sponsor doesn't know what the book club is, just keep going upline until someone does and find out what the book club is. It will not cost you a penny. But you get training from a guy who's been in this industry for 52 years and has created more than 1,000 millionaires. That's a team, isn't it? 1,000 millionaires. That's a millionaire every 10 weeks for 52 years. That's off the charts. You can all get access to the book. This is the book. You can all get access to that, the Millionaire Training. Go to themillionairetraining.com. Costs you 20 quid to buy the book. The audios are there for another $10. If you don't buy those audios, honestly, you're just insane. Buy the audios, download them, burn them onto a CD, turn your car into a university. Simon and I drove hundreds of thousands of miles together, listening to audio cassettes, because we didn't have CDs in our car then. Cassettes, listening to them, wearing cassettes out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give you the chance to work one-on-one with Larry and Taylor, because we're going to create the Winner Circle Wealth Building Pro focus group. That's going to be just for our team, not for, when you go on the book club, there are people from Herbalife, there are people from Juice Plus, there are people from different companies. This is going to be our team. And it's not going to be just IM Academy. It's going to be our team. No one else in IM Academy will get access to what we're going to give you access to. We're going to take it just that step further. So on Tuesday, we're going to tell you how it's going to work. And to be part of it, you're going to have to qualify. Now, to find out how to qualify, you need to be on Tuesday's call. At this moment in time, every one of you can qualify. Some of you already qualify. Every one of you can qualify. And we're going to tell you how you can qualify for it on Tuesday. But here's the thing. 22 people on this call. We need this call maxed out. Everybody in your team needs to be on this call. What's working for us right now is stripping things back to bare basics. And we need to strip things back to bare basics for everybody and keep them at bare basics. So we need to make sure that you get all of your team on that. If you've got people who are serious about building a business, even if they only want to build a small team, you know, Larry Thompson turns around and says, use the products, go talk to a few people. You can build a small team and you can make yourself an extra 20, 30,000 a year. You can build a slightly bigger team and you can make yourself 50 or 60,000 a year. It doesn't take that many. To get an extra 25, 30 grand a year with IM Academy doesn't take that much. Every one of you should be able to make more than 30 grand this year. Every one of you. I know a chunk of you want to make more, and you should be making more than 100 grand this year. And some of you some of you want to make even more than that. And every single penny of it's doable.
And don't get confused, guys. Roger's not talking about trading. He's talking about networking. 100 grand or 30 grand a year networking. That is so doable.
It really, I've never known a company where it is so doable. We talk about when Simon and I first met, you get so much help to build your team here because we put people underneath you. If your sponsor's active, your sponsor is building underneath you. When we came into Lifestyles, the company where we first met, that company had a simple pay plan. Everybody went frontline to you. Simon, in the space of 10 years, had 500 people on his front line. There's like wide, and then there's just stupid, but that's Brooksy. So just crazy, crazy wide. To sign up cost you £2,670 to get started. Ours costs 180 quid. If you wanted to collect your check each month, you had to qualify. And there were 3 ways of qualifying. You could go out and retail 1,500 quid's worth of products. That's one way of doing it. Or you could wholesale it to, you could have people in your team who were on less commission than you, and you could wholesale 1,500 quid's worth of product to them. Or you could just buy 1,500 quid's worth of product yourself. You're paying wholesale price for it. It costs you 700 quid. And we know some people that did that to pick a check up. Yeah. Or you could do it the smart way, sponsor one person and sponsor that one person at the 2,600 quid level, and then you were qualified. And it's amazing how many people didn't see the benefit of sponsoring one person. People were prepared to actually pay 700 quid a month of their own money to buy some product because they couldn't go out and sell it, so that they qualified to pick the check up. You don't have to do any of those things. The only thing you've got to do to qualify for your check each month, those of you that are actually earning a residual, all you've got to do to qualify for your check is pay your subscription. Simple as that. This is the easiest business, the easiest company I've ever worked with. And we're getting there now. We're really, really, really getting there. The presentations that Nick does, that Bailey does, that Daisy does, that Katie does, they're awesome. And people like the idea that they're coming on board, seeing different people doing these presentations and seeing a huge range of different people doing them, because it's not the same face all the time. It's easy when people see me as an experienced salesperson doing it, and people think, well, sorry, he's a salesman. But now we've got, Bailey, who works in a yard that sells stuff to fishermen, and Katie, who runs a butty shop, and Daisy, who does a sort of her her PT stuff and everything else, and Nick, who can be anything he wants to be, absolutely anything to anybody. This is something for everybody. Every one of you can do it, and I've never been so excited.
Interesting thing. Right, I will just finish on this, or just mention a comment. When I was involved in the company that me and Roger was in, I sponsored 524 people in a 10-year period. Made around, I think it was around 10 million with that company. But I was just focused on just recruit. But the interesting thing, I will tell you what my worst fear has always been in my 33 year of network marketing. Going to a convention, sitting in the audience and seeing your best friend walking across stage, thinking, why didn't I speak to him? What are you doing here? Well, you never told me about it. I got told by Joe Blow. And you think, why don't I speak to him? The trouble is, too many people that look at our opportunity think, oh, I need to get some success first. I think I should prove it. Bollocks. Oh, sorry. That's the wrong way of doing it. Sorry, shit. I just realized we're recording, aren't we? That is a load of CRAP. When I very, very first looked at this opportunity, I just jumped in with both feet and I just sponsored a stack of people. And I'm still sponsoring a stack of people. I didn't need to prove to myself, oh, does it work? No, why? Because there's 450 friggin' thousand people that are proving it works. Hello, it's a bit of a cuckoo, cuckoo. It's, you cannot be looking at it thinking, oh, go prove to see if it works. Brandon Boyd, that you've seen time after time after time, who's Joe Gomez's sponsor, makes 100,000 a week. Do you think the product works? Yeah. It's funny that Joe, within a previous company with me and Roger recently, in that company, and he was talking about the person that says, oh, day one. And me and Roger, we're texting each other back saying, yeah, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. We know exactly who he's talking about. But the funniest part is that company now is hitting speed bump after speed bump after speed bump. We are just flying over the speed bumps. Speed bumps. What staggers me, and I was talking to one of my prospects this morning about this, is that I don't know many opportunities that have got a system that's designed that goes through the whole mechanics of the opportunity. Rather than you sitting in the coffee shop explaining the opportunity is a nightmare, because your prospect turns around and thinks, oh, it's all right for him. He knows about it, but I wouldn't be able to do that. But if you've got a system and our system is 15 minutes, 5 times a week, anybody can point people to the system. And that is a no-brainer. So, folks, it works 100% of the time for 100% of the people that give it a time.
Roger. You always end there. You're stuck. Once you get that far, you're stuck, aren't you? It's like I always say.
No, that's how I end. And I would have thought, I was thinking, yeah, Roger's going to know that's when I'm finished.
Yeah, but I just couldn't resist it. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're with friends. We're friends. I have to. You know I have to.
Stop you.
Guys, seriously, you know we have a laugh doing this, but there is a boatload of money to be made, and it's not all about making fortunes. Not everyone wants to make fortunes. Some people are happy with their life. They don't want to put themselves out of their comfort zone, but 500 quid a month can make their life better. So talk to them about what they want. So find out what they want and talk to them about how you can make their life better. Because Zig Ziglar said one of my favorite quote from anybody at all is Zig Ziglar. You can have anything in the world that you want, everything in the world that you want, if you just help enough other people get what they want. And if what they want is 500 quid a week, help them get that. They'll love you for it, but find millions of people to help. The more people you help, the better off you'll be. We're going to wrap it up for now. Tuesday night's going to be a really important call. I'm going to put all that information out shortly into the Phoenix group so you know exactly what's coming. And there's a video you can share with your team that will just sort of hopefully catch their attention. Honestly, get your teams on the call. I'm looking at you here and I know who's got teams and whose teams aren't on here. Get your teams on the call. The more people you get on the call, the better you will be for it. And also, don't forget, no call tomorrow night. We do have a call on Saturday morning. So I need testimonials. So can you please reach out and tell me you're available for testimonials? Please don't leave me panicking like I was last week at the last minute saying, where the hell is everybody? But can you reach out, let me know you're available, but more importantly, get prospects on that call and let's make them work. All right, guys, we will see you Saturday morning. Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.